Roses are red, the Sun Devils wore gold. 75-73 was the final score, and that's a good thing because losing was getting old. He's Hoda Rubino. I'm Zach Keenan for DevilsDigest.com. Arizona State beats Oregon State 75-73 on Valentine's Day, where there wasn't much love in the air. I'd say this was a hard-fought win for ASU.
Yeah, it definitely was, Zach, and I think that coming into the game without Josh Christopher, without Marcus Bagley, who now missed his second game in a row, you knew it could be somewhat of an ugly affair. But as we know, just as a husband brings his wife roses on a day like this, another thing that's pretty consistent is that ASU and Oregon State always play close contests. This is the 8th game in a row between the Beavers and the Sun Devils that has been decided by 6 points or less. But tonight, I think it really was understandable, if you will, without the firepower that Arizona State was missing for the Sun Devils to play this game as close as they did. First half was really a roller coaster. They led by as much as 15. Oregon State cut it down to 4 points, but ASU goes down into the locker room with a 10-point lead at halftime. But second half, Arizona State definitely had to battle Oregon State quite a bit. I think their defense at points was sometime lacking, and the zone defense that the Beavers did throw at the Sun Devils at some stretches in the second half really gave the Sun Devils probably a little more fits than they expected to. So there really is no such thing as an ugly win, especially when you know that Arizona State is down the quality of players that it was missing. Chris Austin did come back from an ankle injury, did not play last Thursday, did not score, just playing gritty minutes over there for Arizona State. A lot of foul trouble in their front court. Maybe the difference was that unlike their opponent on Thursday, Oregon, ASU did not face a terribly long team in Oregon State, and they were able to get to the line quite a bit just by drawing a lot of fouls on their drives. That's something that helped them long stretches of the first half, and I think down the stretch also in the second half.
The free throw numbers were outrageous for ASU. The game plan seemed to be just to drive to the hoop and see if you get a foul along the way. Hood, who impressed you on offense specifically for ASU today? Because in Bobby Hurley's 100th win with Arizona State, he was without key freshmen Marcus Bagley and Josh Christopher, as you mentioned.
Ray Martin really had a very weird stat line, shooting I think just around 35% or so from the field, but still scoring 23 points. So obviously he made up the difference at the free throw line. Had both double-digit makes and attempts. So like you said, that strategy of driving to the basket and drawing fouls did really work well for Remy Martin and the Sun Devils. I think Alonzo Verge definitely had a better game today than he had on Thursday against Oregon. Jalen Graham, again, if you talk about consistency, did tie his career highs both in points 14 and rebounds 11, and that was definitely important again with all the injuries and just the personnel issues that Arizona State is having up front. Even John Olmstead, the walk-on sophomore from Morenci, Arizona, scored 5 points in 12 minutes for Arizona State. So just giving those valuable minutes that ASU is needing up front. But I would think that maybe the unsung hero is Holland Woods. Scored all of his 10 points in the second half, 2 huge three-pointers for Arizona State in that second half. Again, a half that ASU was struggling quite a bit. I think another thing that Bobby Hurley did mention in his postgame is that Arizona State did a great job scoring half of their points in the first half off of 11 turnovers for Oregon State in the first 20 minutes, actually scoring 21 points during that stretch. But second half, Oregon State did a much better job of taking care of the ball, and I think that at times did frustrate Arizona State. It wasn't a lot of the ugly shot selection, not moving the ball around the perimeter that we saw on Thursday, but in the second half, that aspect did kind of rear its ugly head at some points. But again, when Oregon State was throwing the zone, Holland Woods with his three-point shooting was able to do well, and ASU at times, probably not enough, was able to find those sweet spots in the zone defense for Oregon State. But like you said, really being aggressive, going to the line. 34 free throw attempts for Arizona State. That's a number you definitely don't see from the Sun Devils on a regular basis. So I think that even though maybe their ball movement wasn't that great, the fact that they were determined not to settle for that many jumpers, really to draw as many fouls, really worked out for Arizona State quite a bit. They didn't shoot that well from the line overall, but just enough to squeak by the Beavers tonight on Sunday.
tomorrow, Monday, is a mandatory day off, so ASU only has one day to prepare for USC on Wednesday. I don't think that's enough time to focus on a lot of things. What's one thing that they need to focus on in order to get a win out in LA?
I don't know if you really would call it a point of focus, Zach, but get healthy. First of all, obviously, make sure there's no COVID curveballs thrown on you between now and Wednesday. Not a long stretch by any means to get ready, even though it's a short plane ride from Tempe to LAX. But maybe you can get Josh Christopher back. Maybe you can get Marcus Bagley back, because when you play two of the best teams right now in the Pac-12 in UCLA and USC on their home court, they're in Los Angeles, it's definitely going to be a really tall order. So Arizona State really has to make sure that they can have as many healthy bodies as possible. But I also feel that maybe they can really draw on the great job they did forcing turnovers. If they can somehow duplicate that effort against one or both of the LA teams, that can really go a long way. And the rebounding battle, just really try to do the best they can. They did lose the rebounding battle tonight, but they were able to do quite well in the first half. So that again was just enough to squeak by a very determined Beavers team. But again, just going back to my original point, when you talk about a point of focus, a point of emphasis, just get healthy, because I don't think it's going to be a pretty affair in Los Angeles playing without Josh Christopher and or Marcus Bagley against arguably maybe two of the best teams in the Pac-12 right now. So if they can play finally with a full deck of cards, something that they haven't been able to do all season long, I think maybe you like their chances somewhat. But I think I'll just end with this: the grit that Arizona State has shown in their last 3 wins, and they are winners of 3 of the last 4. They are able to win to win those close games. I believe all games they won by 4 points or less. So I think that the character of this team is showing more and more. But again, they really have to supplement that with as many healthy bodies as possible, because tonight was definitely too close to comfort. And again, when you play teams like USC and UCLA, you better have as many healthy bodies as possible.
Josh Christopher currently listed as day-to-day. Marcus Bagley, no official update, but when things come out, we'll make sure that you're kept in the loop. So make sure you keep it locked in to DevilsDigest.com and keep us a follow on Twitter @DevilsDigest. For Hood Rubino, I'm Zach Keenan. We'll see you next time.